What's up, everybody? Welcome into another edition of the Big Man on Campus podcast. This is the MLB Picks Hour. I am the Big Man on Campus. Today we turn the page, at least for a few days, and we head into baseball. College hoops is winding down, and it is a sad day, obviously, as we have to kind of transform the show into something else, which definitely sucks. We're so used to baseball or basketball for so long that it definitely kind of sucks that we have to move on. It's been a fun season, but the clock turns and we got to go somewhere else. And it's now baseball over the next few months. We'll get into the card today. We'll break down all the rotations, the numbers, and I'll give you a pick for all the games. I won't give you a pick for every game because I just don't really like every game, but I'll gladly give you a pick. We'll do this where we give picks for each game for about a week, and then I'll go to the premium plays where they'll be sent out, and then I'll just kind of go over the card like I did in basketball. But at least for right now, we'll have some fun breaking down the card and seeing if we can find some value here on a Monday. Do me a favor, hit the like button, say hello on the chat box. All you have to do is click the little chat icon, and you can chat with us today. I know there are plenty of people that don't chat. They just kind of do their thing, but do me a favor and join us here and say hello. And as always, if you're new around here, make sure you're subscribing. Hope everyone's having a good Monday. Pretty nice day around here. It's kind of cold, but again, it's still March. Actually, it's not March. It's April. But it's still kind of wintry, let's say. But obviously, if you're a hip-hop fan, I know a lot of people are mourning the loss of Nipsey Hussle. Nipsey Hussle, not someone that I listened to. I didn't know much about the guy. But from what I can see, obviously there's a huge outpouring of sorrow right now for a guy that, look, even if you didn't listen to him, you have to respect anybody that is able to kind of move on from. I've talked about this before in this show about how there are so many kids that are left behind, kids that don't decide to move on with life and realize that, doing and hanging on the corner and selling drugs, all it's going to do is get you in a prison. And we've seen it with people like Tekashi 6ix9ine who have had some sort of a promising career and they threw it away because of clout and trying to be someone that maybe they're not supposed to be. And you look at a guy like this, I mean, seemingly grew up pretty tough. He kind of got through the gang stuff and became a name to a lot of people, helped a lot of people in his community. You can be rich, you can be successful, and that's great. But if you don't help other people, you're really wasting it. You got to spread the good news, as they say, and it seems like this guy's done that. Definitely very sad. You hate to see something like this. As they say, the good die young, and that's very true. As far as who did this, look, I see a lot of people talking about conspiracy theory. I mean, that's complete jargon. This was done by someone that is a subhuman, that has no business on the streets, someone that steals the lifeblood out of people because of his own inability to be successful. So he being jealous of someone else who's doing so great and everybody loves and adores, he is jealous by that. So he feels like instead of just going away, he's going to teach us all a lesson. So he goes and kills this guy in front of his kids, and this shithead will feel better about himself. But you know what? Eventually people like this get got, and as they say, he's probably a dead man walking. Very sad. You hate to see stuff like this. The people that are going to obviously deal with the worst loss are the family and people that are connected to this kid. So very sad. Hopefully, I remember when Mac Miller died, I took it pretty hard. I like Mac Miller. He was a big fan of his. Again, I'm not going to try and lie and say that I was a big fan of this guy. I didn't know much about him, but he's a guy that is a rapper and he's doing some great things. And I think we all should say a prayer for his family and the people that enjoy his music. So rest in peace to this guy, Nipsey Hussle. Let's hope that the kid that did this is dealt with the largest extent of whatever street justice he has coming to him. But yeah. All right, guys, we're not going to get into a big soliloquy. I just wanted to kind of chat about that quickly. It's definitely sad to see. Obviously, this show, we're going to have to kind of build up like we did basketball. A lot of people are kind of not sure when we're on now. We were kind of, that's what sucks about kind of, the season kind of chopping up, because people don't always know where we're on. They kind of expect the show to be on at 5, and it wasn't. So we will get into this. I've done baseball for a long time. If you followed me for a lot of years, you will know that. I used to have a show called the Big Men on Campus Podcast. Used to do it on Spreaker, and we used to just break down the games every day. It was a fun time. We'll continue to do it here. T-Money, it's first year betting on MLB. Yeah, well, you definitely want to tread lightly. Any questions any of you have, feel free to ask. I'll definitely check that out. Let's get into the show here. Before we do that, I want to just talk about our promoter, the group we're promoting. It's MyBookie. The show is powered by MyBookie. Listen, guys, March Madness is ending, but that doesn't mean the calendar is ending. As far as sports are concerned, plenty of stuff heating up. NBA playoffs, hockey playoffs. MLB is really going to get going here. You got the drafts that are coming up. You get all sorts of great boxing and soccer. Just because the sports calendar, as far as basketball is ending, doesn't mean your bet should stop. Listen, if you're looking for a new book, you're just getting into baseball, you want to start betting, MyBookie is the place to do it. They have all sorts of great odds and numbers to take a look at. Easy and quick withdrawals. You get your money on very quick. You can use Bitcoin. They have some terrific customer service. And when I mean that, I say it. I've dealt with their customer service. Terrific. They get you taken care of and quick. You also got the Masters coming up. So many great things to bet on. You want to bet on horses. You got the Kentucky Derby coming down the road. They have a Refer a Friend program and cool contests as well. It's time to get on board with MyBookie. Leave it to me to tell you. It's a great book to be a part of. Always great things going on, and something that I recommend. So if you're needing a book, and guys, again, support me, support the show. Keep this show free for everyone by using MyBookie. Use the promo code BMOC. It's going to get you a free 50% on your deposit bonus. So you put $200 on, MyBookie's going to give you $100 all the way up to $1,000. So you put $900 on, they're going to give you $450 absolutely free to make your wagers. So make sure you check it out, MyBookie now. Bet baseball tonight with MyBookie. Use promo code BMOC and support the show when you're opening your account. All right, guys, let's do it. Let's chat about some baseball here. Feel free, if you have any gambling questions, any questions at all, feel free to chat and send them in on the chat box. All right, let's start it off with, where do we want to go here? We'll start with the Detroit Tigers taking on my New York Yankees. And the world's falling down in the Bronx right now because the Yankees are 1-2. And 2 of the losses out of the 3 were to the fucking Baltimore Orioles, which I will add is pretty embarrassing. But it's still early. We still have plenty of look, we're 3 games into the season. All right, settle down, Yankee fans. Look, should they have swept the Orioles? Of course they should have. But again, this is why you shouldn't be laying big prices. Look, the Yankees just don't present a ton of value right now, unless you want to take the dog, which I wouldn't be against that. You look at Domingo Germán going tonight for the Yanks. Obviously, had a pretty good season last year. Showed them that he could be a capable guy, whether it's in the bullpen or in the rotation. You look at all 4 games for the Tigers this year; they've gone under the number. A lot of it's had to do with just no one really hitting. You look at outside of Candelario and Goodrum, no one's really hit for this team so far. I kind of like the under in this game. You look at the weather; it's definitely kind of cool. You're going to have a temperatures in the 40s in this game. You look at Detroit hitting just 156 as a team to start out the season, and Germán's a guy that at times had a pretty damn good spring. You have to figure coming in here, he's going to want to kind of keep that going. Brett Gardner's been mysteriously gone. Greg Bird's done nothing. Gary Sanchez hasn't given them anything. This lineup really, outside of LeMahieu and Aaron Judge, hasn't been very good. Glaber's done okay, but you look at the Detroit Tigers, just not hitting right now. And Tyson Ross, a guy for the Tigers who, in large parts of his career, has been very good at not giving home runs up. He's going to have to do that tonight against a team that we know can hit them, but in a ballpark where it's going to be a little cool. Ball can maybe die a little bit. Maybe there's some value in the under. Obviously, you want 9. But this Yankee pen, if Herman can give you 5 good innings, you have to figure you're going to have a live shot at covering this one. Tyson Ross is a decent pitcher, and this lineup for Detroit just isn't great. I don't have a real feel for this game. If I had to play it, I would probably take a shot with the under 8.5 here, but I'd prefer to get 9. What's up, Reagan, Ryan, Brad, KD, Ben, Retro, Chi Archie, Mitchell, J-Row, KD, Crazy Rocker, Matt Varnum, Stu Potter. What else do we have here? Bill F, Retro Horror, DJ One Mike, AJN. Listen, guys, if you have questions, I'll definitely try to get to them. Let me go through a couple games here. Brewers and the Reds. Roark against Davies. Brewers a small favorite here. Obviously, public likes the Brewers. Of course they do. This lineup's very good. We saw the big Lorenzo Cain catch. Everybody loves the Brewers. I don't in this game. I like the Reds. Give me the Reds. Reds pretty good numbers against Zach Davies in his career. I like Roark. I think he'll be a pretty decent pitcher in Cincinnati. He's a good sinker ball pitcher. Definitely a guy that's going to keep the ball on the ground for the most part. And again, it's still pretty cool out, guys, for the most part. You're not going to have balls necessarily traveling as generally as good as they should. This Reds team, I like their success against Davies. You look at in their career, Ryan Braun is decent. I'm sorry. I like the Reds against Davies. I'm sorry. You look at Kemp, Peraza, Schebler, Votto, Winker, all these guys have pretty good numbers. Now, again, very limited at bats, but I think it's a decent spot for the Reds tonight at home. I like Roark in this ballpark. Should have some success here. So I'll take a shot with the Reds. I'll kind of fade the public here against the Milwaukee Brewers. Brewers obviously also with some bullpen problems. Jeffers out, Nebo out for a long period of time. That they have some concerns there in that bullpen. It's not as good as usual. Please retweet the show on Twitter. That's one thing I kind of forgot to talk about. Make sure you're doing that. Very helpful for me and gets a shot to people that might not know that we're on. Kevin Berg, welcome in. Mitchell Chagas is in here as well. Michael Solaritz. Mitchell Chagas, I'm on the Brew Crew. I'm not sure what to expect from Roark. Well, I think you're going to expect a lot of ground balls probably. Look, I don't disagree with you. I mean, the Brewers are a solid team, and, Roark can get hit, but I like the Reds at home. I like their numbers against Davies, and I think, look, if the Brewers had a full bullpen here, yeah, I'd probably agree with you a little bit, but I'll fade the public here. They like the Brewers. I'm going to go the other way with the home team Reds. Baltimore and Toronto, don't really have an opinion on this game. I'm not laying 170 with fucking Toronto. Look, frankly, gun to my head, I'd probably take the Orioles. I mean, if you're going to bet them, it'd be right now, right? I mean, they're actually playing decent. I don't know what I'm going to get out of David Hess. I mean, David Hess has been really just, I don't know, poor. What the hell am I going to get out of Sean Reed Foley as well? I mean, why are Toronto laying 170? I don't know what that's all about. But I really don't want to wager a unit on Baltimore. If I had to play it, though, I would definitely take Baltimore. You're literally flipping, and you're getting, plus 150-ish back. Not a bad price here. Cubs against the Atlanta Braves. Atlanta's been brutal. You look at Atlanta so far. I mean, what is there to like about them? They were swept by the Phillies. Their bullpen was an absolute mess. And To be honest, I mean, they really aren't scoring runs. 20th in the league so far in runs scored. They're facing a Cubs team that didn't have any issues scoring runs over the weekend, scored 28 runs and are hitting 342. The problem is this Cubs team can't get anyone out. I mean, what do you say about the Cubs? I mean, you look at that series down in Texas, it's pretty crazy. A ton of runs in that series. The Cubs starting off the season an 8.17 ERA. Both these clubs have had major pitching issues so far. But I'll tell you this, I'm not a Sean Newcomb guy. Sean Newcomb has really kind of been an abject failure. I mean, at one point last year, he was benched. They kind of skipped his starts. I'm not a big fan of the guy, to be honest. Kyle Hendricks, I've always liked. I like Kyle Hendricks. He had that real good year 2 years ago. They signed an extension. They gave him an extension. He didn't pitch last year against the Braves, but he's had good career numbers against them. I'm going to keep fading Atlanta. I don't think they're very good out of the season right now. I don't like what I've seen out of the rotation or bullpen. And look, to be real honest, I mean, their lineup hasn't been particularly good either. I'll take a shot with the Cubbies here. Again, a bit high. Or actually, I'm sorry, I'm looking at the wrong number. We're basically getting the Cubs at even money. I think this is a good spot to take the Cubs. Thanks for watching Kid Bay Brooklyn, Marcos, Adam, Mike. How many games into the season before you get a good feel? I think about 10 or 12. Give me the Cubs. Give me that lineup over this lineup right now. Give me that. Give me Hendricks over Newcomb any day. Mets in Miami, don't have much on this one. Not really. I mean, this play probably should be the Marlins, but I'm not doing it. Colorado, Tampa Bay, Bettis against Ryan Stanek. Look, I mean, nice start for the Rays, but I'm not running to lay 150 with the Rays. I'm just not. Their pitching has been very good. Their rotation, pretty solid. Their bullpen has been fantastic, Tampa. I'm not a big fan of Colorado on the road, but this is just one where, look, if it was 120, maybe I have a little interest in the Rays. But if I got to lay 150, I just have really no interest. And right now, I really don't want to back Colorado. I'm never a fan of them on the road. I'm not a Chad Bettis guy, so it's a pass for me. Houston, Texas. I really like Houston tonight. And I like Houston on the run line. I think they beat up Drew Smiley. Texas has given up 28 runs in 3 games. And I know Houston hasn't scored more than 2 runs all season, but this is a great team to face when you're going through a little bit of a slump to start the season. Texas might have the worst pitching staff in baseball. Year after year, their bullpen is complete fodder. It's complete shit. In this lineup, I mean, outside of a few, there's just not a lot to like about it. I think Brad Peacock will kind of build up on his, on his pretty solid career. I mean, Brad Peacock's had a pretty good career overall, guys. This is a Texas team with just horrific pitching issues right now and starting the season here. I think it's a great spot for Houston to kind of bounce off and get the job done. I'm not a big fan of laying run lines of road teams. I mean, you're only going to get 8 at-bats generally, which suck. I'm sorry, you'll get 9 at-bats here. What am I saying? I'm all over the place today. My fault. I do like road teams. I don't like home teams. I'm sorry. You get the 9 bats here for Houston, so you have a better chance to hit that run line. I kind of like the run line here. I'm not a big run line guy, but I think this is a great spot for Peacock and Houston to really kind of get going here. Another good spot tonight, Boston. They got Oakland. Oakland's actually beat Boston 4 of the last 5, dating back to last year, obviously. Boston's had no trouble scoring runs. It's, their pitching's not been great. They've given up a lot of runs, but one of the big boys going tonight, David Price, who was a little sick to start the season. Aaron Brooks going for Oakland. Aaron Brooks, it's not been a good career for him in the major leagues. 18 games, he's got near right over 8. And the opponent's hitting 340 against Aaron Brooks in the major leagues. You got to figure this is a good spot for Boston to get going. Yet the line's going the other way. I'm confident that Oakland could probably get 3 runs here. But if I had to play this, I would look towards a team total over with Boston. I think the Red Sox could show out a little bit tonight. I think Brooks is a guy that's just kind of in over his head. I don't know if he's a major league pitcher right now. We've seen Oakland over the last few years have to kind of grab some of these guys off the street because they're just not they just don't have a ton of depth at the pitching spot. And look, let's be real. Aaron Brooks, I mean, opponent's 340 against him in his career. Not very good. I'll take a shot with Boston with a team total over. I want to take a look and see what that number is right now over at MyBookie, mybookie.ag. Use promo code BMOC. A team total on the Boston Red Sox tonight is perfect, 4.5. That's what I like to see. I like that. That is going to be a free play tonight, over 4.5. Boston Red Sox team total against Aaron Brooks. Giants, LA Dodgers, pass for me. Arizona, San Diego. Arizona's offense has been bad. It's really just been their pitching staff. I think they're going to have a tough time in it this year, particularly in the bullpen. You look at San Diego. You look at their ways they're going to win games this year. If they can start to score runs on a consistent basis, this pitching staff's been real good. 1.25 ERA so far from this pitching group. It's been a solid season for San Diego so far, but another game I don't have an opinion on. This final game is going to be a play as well. I'm going to take the Mariners tonight against the LA Angels. The only player that has much success against Felix Hernandez is Mike Trout. And obviously you worry about Mike Trout having a huge game here, but really no one else has a lot of success against Felix Hernandez. And I know Felix Hernandez has struggled. He didn't have a good year last year. He was definitely limited. But this Seattle team's playing great baseball right now. They're scoring a lot of runs. You look at it in 6 games, guys, for Seattle, 48 runs. Scored 8 runs a game. Been pretty good. You look at the other side with the LA Angels. It's been a real mess. 176 average so far, just 9 runs in 4 games. I'll take a shot with fading Chris Stratton here, a guy that I think Seattle can have some success with. And outside of Trout, I'm just not really too worried about this Angel lineup right now. So for me, I'm going to take a shot with the Mariners tonight at -105. I'm going to take the Red Sox team total over 4.5. I'm going to also take the Cubbies. Those are going to be 3 plays I like tonight. As far as what you like, it's really up to you. But I'm going to go with that. So there you go. 25 minutes. Pretty simple. Let's go through a couple questions here. How many games? Where do you went over that one? Are we just talking baseball? Anything on the NIT? Settle down, Alex. We'll get into that tomorrow. Again, there's really nothing to talk about on the basketball court tonight, but we will get it. Texas definitely has the worst rotation. Yep, 100%. Best ballpark food. It's a good question. I don't know. I only really go to Phillies games. Occasionally I'll go to Yankee games, and I don't really eat at the stadium. I'll go eat, in the Bronx somewhere. But in Philadelphia, I mean, definitely a cheesesteak. I mean, go get yourself some Campos. Not wrong with that. Do I use any books beyond MyBookie? Yeah, I have some locals that I use. So yeah, I have my soccer book as well. What park's easiest to hit home runs in? Great American Ballpark, Citizens Bank Park, Yankee Stadium. Is there any Dodgers Giants talk? No, I don't have an opinion on that game, nor do I, be honest, care very much about it. I have no interest in the Giants. I have no interest in betting on the Giants. I have no interest in ever getting involved with them. So for me, I probably won't talk much about that group this year. You look at yesterday, obviously an interesting night in college hoops. Duke gets beat, and I was very happy to see it. I had Michigan State, so that was pretty awesome. And look, it's never a bad thing when Duke loses, right? That was pretty awesome. The other game, Kentucky Auburn. Look, I thought John Calipari was incredibly outcoached. I don't know what on earth he was doing yesterday. He was seriously outcoached. That was really ugly and hard to watch. I thought outside of PJ Washington, I don't know what was going on with Kentucky. The game plan was all over the place. Really bad coaching job by John Calipari. I thought he was sorely outcoached yesterday. Give it to Auburn. I mean, they've played really well down the stretch, which I didn't think they'd ever do. So that was surely impressive. Worst MLB umpire? Like personally, probably Angel Hernandez for sure. Do I think Auburn's going to win? No, I don't. Masters coming up, which will be fun. I actually hit with Kevin Kisner. I bet that on Saturday and hit with Kevin Kisner to win the match play, which is pretty cool. A little 8-1 score there, which is definitely nice. Nice end to the weekend. Have had a real good tournament, 10-3. So very happy with everything that's happened. One of those losses was a future. So it's been a real fun tournament. I'm back into the green, which is very cool. It's not, again, as good a season as I had last year. I won 44.8 units last year, but I'm hoping by the end of the season I'm around 10 units. Could have been better, but anytime you have a winning season, I think it's something to be happy about. Could have had a losing season, so we'll be up around 10 units. I would imagine. We got to play this week. I haven't put anything out yet for the Final Four, but I will. Interesting news out of New York. Well, actually, not New York, but Dallas now. Porzingis was, according to a report, and I was thinking about whether I talk about this or not. I want to make this very clear, and this is really so important in the culture that we're in now. All this is allegedly, okay? None of this is true or false. We really don't know at this point. According to reports, I'm not one to just assume Kristaps Porzingis did this. I think, unfortunately, in the culture that we live in, a lot of people are dragged through the mud for stuff they don't do. And I hope that if Kristaps Porzingis is exonerated of this, he should be able to get the proper corrections on all this. But this is definitely interesting. Not that what he did, but interesting that it's been over a year since this happened, and now all of a sudden the woman has made this claim. I'm not downplaying what happened. This very well could have happened, but according to federal law enforcement, this is definitely a pretty fucked up story if this is true. There's definitely some weird things about it, though. Obviously, it being supposedly the night of his ACL injuries, definitely kind of odd. There's definitely a lot of layers to the story. According to reports, he called her his bitch and his slave. Keep in mind, this is a black woman. He beat her and raped her, according to a report. Definitely a fucking weird story, fucked up story. And if you got to wonder what happens here. He obviously denies all of this, but there is questions of maybe some kind of hush payment. Definitely crazy. Definitely sad and hard to hear. Zion seemed really pissed after the loss. Did he feel good enough in your thoughts? Seemed like it fell on Barrett's shoulders. Look, Zion Williamson did all he could. Unfortunately, other than Zion Williamson, the team's not that good. I mean, Cam Reddish, people think is a lottery pick, is fucking laughable. He's not a lottery pick. I hate to say it. He's a nice kid. I watched him in high school, but I don't see it. And outside of those two, Barrett and Williamson, they're just not very good. Things could have easily collapsed. The grind back was real. Lots of people jumped in late because they knew it was a fluke. Yeah, that's true. I mean, we have to remember a lot. Without the 0-9, I mean, I'm having a real good season. So, it is what it is. We'll build this all up and we'll get back at it. Knicks finessed the Mavs. Yeah, especially if the Mavs knew about this. You got to wonder. And that's where you kind of wonder if this is true. I mean, there's no way the Mavs would have done this if this indeed is true. A couple of stories out of New York as well. According to reports, the feds are going to look to give Craig Carton at least 5 years, which that's a tough sentence if it's true. Prosecutors want 5 years, 70 months, but more than 5 years, 5 years and 10 months for his fraud. Rough. That's a long sentence to give this guy, but got to set a precedent, right? If you guys got any handicapping questions or any questions, you want to know about anything, give me a ring here. Let me know what you think, what you have. Just type it in on the chat. Won't be on much longer. And again, guys, this show is not going to be an hour like the basketball show was. There's just not a ton of games like we have there where we can sit here and talk for an hour about 40 different games. We have 10 games or so a day. So some of them have already even started. So again, the show's not going to be an hour every day. I took the under after you said Duke needs to hit their outside shots, and you said they won't. Thanks. Yeah. The under, I don't think the under came in, did it? Okay, what was the scoring again? Oh, yeah, 67, 68. Yeah, it did come in. Why did I think it was higher than that? My fault. Well, good. I'm glad it came in. Definitely hurt that the game was just kind of back and forth. Possessions were more important, so it definitely slowed the game down a little bit. All right, guys. After that, we'll wrap it up. We're not going to be on here just twiddling our thumbs. We gave out some good info, and that's all we can ask for. We'll go with the Mariners. We'll go with the Red Sox team total over 4.5. And we'll go with the Cubbies tonight against the Braves. Yeah, I have no opinion on DePaul, South Florida. Usually I do, but I think both those teams are pretty solid. So, yeah, I don't have much on that. All right, guys, that'll be it for me. If you need me, you can find me on Twitter at Jeff, JFFNADU. Please go support my bookie. That's all we ask for you here. Go support them. We all bet. We are looking for books. So make sure my bookie's one of them. Use promo code BMOC. You get yourself a 50% deposit bonus. Absolutely no questions asked. And you can get in the game today. So do that. I'll be back tomorrow with another show. Same time, same place, 5 o'clock Eastern. Everyone have a great night. See you.